Hello, I'm Lara Kulcharslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. Kicking things off, we dive into how the Israeli military leaned on US tech giants to meet the technological demands of the war. Leaked documents reveal that Google, Amazon, Microsoft provided advanced AI tools to Israel's military during its war on Gaza.
Leaked documents shed light how Google, Microsoft, and Amazon cloud platforms became a critical tool, storing vast amounts of intelligence and powering AI systems used to identify targets. The scale is staggering. Microsoft alone provided 19,000 hours of technical support worth $10 million. Their AI usage jumped 64 times during the war. But they weren't alone. Amazon and Google joined through Project Nimbus, a massive $1.2 billion cloud computing contract. These tech giants didn't just provide storage. Their AI tools helped process combat data, manage target databases, and analyze surveillance information. Microsoft's Azure platform, Amazon's AWS, and Google's AI services became essential for military operations. Even ChatGPT's powerful AI engine, GPT-4, was made available to the military after OpenAI quietly changed its policies to allow military use.
Insiders say big tech companies scrambled to sell AI tools to Israel after October 7, each trying to outpace the other. By November 2024, internal documents show employees from these companies were actively facilitating access to advanced technologies for Israel's military.
Google, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide!
But these partnerships didn't come without resistance. Google workers have been protesting Project Nimbus since 2021. The backlash peaked last year when 50 Google employees were fired for opposing the contract. Israeli military's reliance on Microsoft systems surged during the most intensive phase of its bombardment of Gaza. From June 2023 to April 2024, Israel's military usage of Microsoft cloud storage spiked by over 155%, peaking right before its invasion of Rafah. Many of Microsoft's data centers serving Israel are based in European nations that recognize the International Court of Justice. Legal experts warn that if the court rules against Israel's actions in Gaza as genocide, Microsoft could face serious legal repercussions. LinkedIn Premium users in the US have filed a lawsuit against the platform. They have accused it of sharing their private messages with other companies to help train AI models. The suit argues that in August 2024, LinkedIn quietly rolled out a new privacy setting that automatically enrolled users in a program, letting third parties access their personal data for AI training purposes. It also accuses LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft, of covering up its actions by updating its privacy policy a month later. The filing further alleged that LinkedIn updated its frequently asked questions section, stating users could opt out of sharing their data for AI purposes, but doing so would not affect training that had already taken place.
Their automatic data collection is leaving many people blindsided, myself included. And LinkedIn's being a little uptight about their data integration. For example, we don't yet really know how deep their data scraping goes, and we don't quite have a clear understanding about how your data is going to be integrated into their future AI models.
And here's how we can opt out of this feature.
If you have LinkedIn, you're probably training its AI because LinkedIn decided to opt everyone in for the data for generative AI training. So go to your settings, go to data privacy, and scroll down until you see the data for generative AI improvement, and you can turn it on or off right here.
Meta's Instagram is facing criticism after blocking users from looking up left-leaning terms. The platform is being accused of political bias just days after the inauguration of President Donald Trump. For example, if you search the word Democrats, you would get hit with a warning. We've hidden these results. Results for the term you have searched for may contain sensitive content. In contrast, the hashtag Republicans is free to show 3.3 million posts without any content warnings. The company has denied the claims, stating it was just a technical problem that impacted other hashtags as well. But many users are not buying it.
This is typically what you would see if you're searching for something illegal on the platform. Republican worked fine, but a whole bunch of other search terms and stuff got completely hidden, and they're saying it was an accident, which makes me wonder, what were they changing on the back end? What systems were being updated? What upgrades were put in place that made it accidentally suppress like a third of left-wing search results? I don't know, man.
As far as the meta platforms, people are not crazy that they cannot access certain information. There is a censorship issue taking place. So I think people need to stop calling people crazy or saying people are lying about this particular thing, because Meta themselves have come out to acknowledge that it's happening. This is on top of not having fact checkers. This is on top of cancelling DEI. And this is on top of increasing the amount of AI profiles on their platforms.
The tables have turned. Now, China is worried about the US corrupting its youth through social media. The Chinese-owned video-sharing app RedNote is reportedly considering isolating American users after concerns surfaced about their influence on China's younger generation. Last week, RedNote saw an unprecedented surge of 3 million American users in a single day after TikTok went dark for 14 hours. At first, the cultural exchange was unlike anything before.
Hi, TikTok friends from the US. Welcome to RedNote. I'm Molly. I'm 5 years old.
This world is filled with too much hatred now. And now we all discovered that we are being misled. We are being manipulated into thinking the way that divides us.
Actually, for the very first time, we're communicating person to person with an open mind. Humanity has yet again proven itself to be the strongest bond among people with completely different upbringings and backgrounds. We're all just breathing and walking human beings. We're just trying to joke and throw memes at each other and have a good time.
Something that we're supposed to see as the enemy. And now we're becoming friends. Now we're embracing all of the different cultures and we're understanding it a little bit more and we're sharing the same humor.
But things took a darker turn as some Americans bombarded Chinese creators' comment sections with inappropriate and racist remarks.
The influx of Americans has just completely messed that up. I've seen 3 or 4 videos now where they're talking about that they have changed the algorithm to where the citizens in China are no longer seeing content from overseas, or they're buffering content from overseas. Also, it's just very negatively changed in a lot of ways.
Many of the comments were, everything is cheap because they don't get paid well. That's the middle class. The country depends on slave labor for that. People are bringing up like communism, censorship.
As a platform under the Chinese Communist Party's regulations, RedNote hasn't yet imposed strict moderation on its growing English language content. Now, the app faces mounting pressure to move foreign users to a separate server, shielding its young Chinese audience from further corruption. In response, RedNote has already introduced a feature allowing Chinese users to filter out foreign content entirely. Looks like the battle over digital influence just hit a new level. Emilia Perez is shaping up to be one of the most talked about films of the year. The musical about a Mexican drug lord, directed by French filmmaker Jacques Audiard, has swept the awards circuit, bagging wins at the Cannes Film Festival, Golden Globes, and European Film Awards. It's also in the running for 11 BAFTAs and is a frontrunner for this year's Oscars with 13 nominations. But behind the success lies a growing storm of controversy. Critics have accused the film of exploiting Mexican culture while sidelining Mexican voices. Emilia Perez was directed by a French filmmaker, shot in a Paris studio, and only one of the 4 leading actresses, Adriana Paz, is Mexican.
Starting off, this film has a very stereotypical outlook on Mexico, gang violence and the cartel, and it's just a very disgusting way to view Mexico. The director, Jacques Audiard, is French, and he decided to take it upon himself not to learn anything about Mexican culture, saying that he already knew enough.
The story of Emilia Perez should have been told by a Mexican, not by a French person that has no connection to the story, to the country, and to the language. The majority of the main cast was not of Mexican descent. And then I saw in an interview that he didn't do a lot of research on the topic at hand. The hubris on this man to not do in-depth research about a topic that affects a lot of Mexican people and day to day.
Many critics, like the Mexican screenwriter Hector Guillén here, also argue that Emilia Perez plays down Mexico's struggles against gangs by turning such a deeply traumatic subject into a glamorous musical spectacle. Guillén's post refers to Mexico's ongoing drug war, which has claimed nearly 500,000 lives and left 100,000 people missing since 2006. The film opened to the general public on Friday in Mexico. Whether this backlash will affect the film's Oscar chances remains to be seen. The Ireland-based budget retailer Primark has launched an adaptive clothing range for people with disabilities. Co-developed with a disability campaigner, Victoria Jenkins, the line aims to address a significant gap affordably and inclusively. The move makes Primark the first budget shop to offer adaptive clothing at such an accessible price point. The company also has an accessible lingerie line available since last year. Adaptive fashion remains rare on the market and largely underdeveloped. Primark's new range seeks to address the needs of the 24% of the UK population living with disabilities, many of whom struggle to find stylish and practical clothing options.
I've been working with them for over a year now, and their commitment is it's long-term. This isn't the end of the road for them, but I think what's really important is that everybody knows that it exists, because I think the word adaptive, not everybody knows about. The disabled community haven't always known about it. So if we search for our own terms and we don't know what we're looking for, then we're not going to find it. So the benefit of Primark doing this means everyone now knows what adaptive is and who it's for. So I think it's really important that people sort of, no one thinks it isn't for them. This is for everybody. And, you know, people have surgeries, people go through short-term health conditions, like it benefits everyone.
Like in everything else, there's also criticism towards this clothing line. One customer criticizes the brand for not being youthful enough.
I'm not happy about this range of clothes. Everyone's raving about it. A lot of creators are like, oh, it's amazing. I don't think it's amazing. I really don't. Again, I feel like this range of clothes is aimed for old people. And it's exhausting because I feel like, do you know what? This is one thing that I'm getting to grips with very, very quickly, is fashion, mobility aids, everything, like homes, all aimed for old people, like only old people have disabilities. I just feel like when I'm looking at their range, it's aimed for like people like my mum, it's aimed for my neighbour Sharon, it's aimed for me Auntie Jean. It ain't aimed at me. I see nothing on that billboard or on these posters or on these, videos that says me. None of it. And it's like, okay, I've got a disability. Does that mean now I need to dress like an old person? I want to look stylish. I want to look sexy. I want to feel youthful. There's nothing in this range that screams to me youth. None of it. None of it. Where's the loungewear? Where's the pretty stuff?
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.